Just a little housekeeping before we start. Our speaker will be Mr. Dharam Singh.
Hi, everyone.
As I said, please keep your microphone muted. And if you have questions during the presentation, please type them into the chat box, and I'll try to bring them during the presentation. Also, as Mr. Dharam suggested, if it's very urgent and you have something to be clarified on the spot, you can raise your hand and ask the question directly. Yeah. Although we will have a time for questions and answers at the end of the presentation. So our event will be about program and portfolio management. I will give a brief about Mr. Dharam. Mr. Dharam is an accomplished management professional with over 27 years of experience in IT, telecommunication, government, banking, and insurance industries. He's an authorized training partner, instructor for PMP, DASM, and DASSM. With no further ado, I will turn the speaker now to Mr. Dharam.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you very much, Tawfiq. And thank you to my friend Thomas. Thomas Volunteer was the one who said, Dharam, why don't you come and do a speaking for us? And said, why not? It's a great opportunity for me to be part of you and part of your group and the PMI Germany. So thank you for inviting me to this event. And thank you for allowing me to part of your, if I can add a little bit to your learning or your career, I'll be very, very happy. So once again, thank you to everyone joining today. I know it takes time to, 1 hour, 2 hours of your busy time to come and listen to me, somebody unknown, and maybe you want to find out who this person is. But anyway, I'm very glad that you invited me. I kind of, have a dream to come to Europe for a long time. I actually came to Europe, France for 2.5 days. That was to attend a conference. So kind of, back to back, meeting, and then fly back. I did get a chance to travel in the local train in France, in Paris, and also saw the Eiffel Tower. That's it. That's what I know about Europe. But I'm really looking forward to come this time and, meet and greet with lots of people and friends, especially Thomas. I've been, with Thomas and me and doing podcast after podcast. So it's good to, spend some time together. Anyway, so am I allowed to share my screen? I think I should be. And would like to stop yours?
I would stop sharing from my side.
Yeah. All right, great. All right. So a question asked many times, I am now project man. I mean, I've done my project management. I'm now program manager, portfolio manager, or maybe I'm starting my life as a project manager. What next? What can I do after this? I got my PMP. What can I do next? So several questions, and I thought, because I'm involved in this journey of making or taking the project manager into program management and portfolio management, this will be, I can be the right person to guide you on this. So that's where I built this roadmap, portfolio program management roadmap. I hope I can give enough justice to this topic and you get something out of this. As Tawfiq mentioned, I'm okay to have questions as and when it is related to the topic and when I'm talking, or if you want to keep it for last, I'm okay with that as well. But any questions related to topic is welcome here. And of course, if you want to talk about me, I will be very, very happy more about, who am I and what can I help you and do for you. So this is, I know Tawfiq has given a brief intro about myself, and I'm not going to spend too much time here. It's a lot of things I can keep talking here, but I'll let you to read. And yeah, so I started my journey into project management somewhere just before 2000. And then I got into PMP, and then after some time, I did some other certificates in between, RMP, PBA, and ACP, and Prince2, and a few others. And then I got into PGMP in 2009, and 2018, I got my PFMP. But the important thing is I am able to contribute. I'm contributing to the success of lots of PGMPs and PFMPs around the world. So last year was a great year for me with 74 PGMPs out of, I think, 400 PGMPs, around 12-13% of global numbers coming from my program. So I'm very happy the way my programs are working, the way I'm able to contribute to their successes in PGMP, PFMPs, and PMPs and other certificates. I mean, I like to highlight one thing, probably it's nothing to do with the topic, but I'm the founder of Yippee Yoga. If you are into yoga, that's where you are like to know more. Hey, what is Yippee, by the way? Yippee is nothing but yoga in park for extreme energy. So I was teaching yoga in Australia, in Sydney. I am Indian origin. I was born in India, and then I moved to Australia, spent 22 years in Australia. Now I moved to Dallas in US. So I go around the world. So this is a good thing about being a global citizen. You can be anywhere, any time in the world. So sometimes I wake up in the morning and say, hang on, where I am at the moment. I'm in Dallas or in Sydney or some other place. Anyway, so other than PGMP, PFMP, if you are passionate about yoga, you want to learn anything about yoga, then you know where to come. That's it, me. Anyway, and as I said, I'm coming to Europe, and this is going to be my first time as running any program. So this is not a promotion of the program, but yes, if you feel that you want to join my program, please feel free to join. Whether you are in Frankfurt or in Milan or Rome, or you can travel to these places, I'd love to have you in my program. And if you need more discussion, more topic, more how to register, you can a link. I think PDF will be shared with all the registrants, so you have a link. You can use a link and register yourself. Anyway, so coming back to the topic. So as you know, today's business environment is very dynamic. It's more often, like a lot of changes are happening everywhere. So that's why we need effective portfolio program management that can give extra strength, extra speed to your organization. As you know, as companies are growing, it focuses on more significant goals in managing its people, its resources, because there's limitation of the resources currently. In addition, with increasing competition, you have so much competition going on. You started something, suddenly somebody else is building up. So you need to be ahead of them all the time. And constant change because of environmental factors we have, COVID or war and many things happening. An organization must deliver on strategic intent in the most efficient way. Yes, we have to go through this, navigate all these complexities, but at the same time, we need to deliver the work in the most efficient way. And I'm sure you're doing it already. But the three terms, I like to talk about these three terms, you're probably familiar, and you're familiar, coming from Project Management Institute, PMI. You all know what is project. Project is simply, you can say easily say, Dharam project is, is a temporary endeavor undertaken by a company or organization so that we can create a product, service, or result. This is something first thing we learn when you start PMP. What is project? Something unique, or first time we're doing it, and with the uniqueness of stakeholder, uniqueness of the environment, and we are doing something new, building something, some new product, service. Now the second thing comes the program. Many organizations, they don't have concept of program. They just have projects and then portfolio. But why are we talking about program? Program is, again, we're delivering something. In this case, we're talking delivering the benefits. And not just delivering the output and outcome. We're talking delivering benefit. And we're talking multiple interdependent projects. And these multiple interdependent projects, we are coordinating them in the most efficient way to deliver the benefit for the organization. And ultimately, organization achieving the value. Now, the third term is the portfolio. Portfolio also have number of components, number of projects, number of operation work. But the work done in the portfolio has to be aligned with organization strategic objectives. If it is not aligned with strategy or objectives or vision of the organization, that work should not be undertaken, or that work should be stopped. So that's what the main purpose of a portfolio. I hope it makes sense. Project, and you can see lots of people, everybody is doing projects. But when you're bringing all the projects together in the end, especially when they have common objective, that become a program. And multiple project programs we are running under an umbrella, that becomes the portfolio. All right. So portfolio management assists the large organizations in delivering strategic change. How do we do? By prioritizing resources and funding for the change, because we need to have, when you talk about big initiative, we need to have resource in terms of money, people, technology. We need to prioritize them. We need to allocate them in right amount. So portfolio management assists large organizations in delivering strategic change by prioritizing resource deployment, funding for change initiative to maximize the value and increasing and achieving the organization goals. So what we're trying to do as part of the portfolio, achieving the maximum value and realizing the organization goals, vision, missions. So then the thing is, we're selecting the right work so we can get the maximum value for the organization. So portfolio management comprises of several core services. Part of the portfolio management, we have a portfolio delivery cycle. Portfolio is ongoing. You have a multi-year portfolios. Within that, you have a number of project, program, and operations works happening. So ensure all programs and projects within portfolio are thoroughly overseen. There are several 50, 100, 70, whatever number of projects going on. One is what project we have to start, and also we need to provide them oversight, making sure they are doing what they're supposed to do. Okay, if they are not aligned, they are not delivering the work, they should be stopped. Portfolio performance review. A comprehensive examination of overall portfolio of specific elements and a fact-based performance evaluation. So many organizations have some measurements. You probably have heard about KPIs, key performance indicators, or balance scorecard. So whatever we're doing, we are measuring the performance of the project and program, which is aligned with the KPI, the key performance indicator, and ultimately aligned with business balance scorecard. If again the performance is not giving, you're not getting the expected performance, then probably that project is not required. Now the third thing we're talking here, portfolio management maturity assessment. So as you know, you need to have a mature portfolio. And time to time, we need to see, are we doing right way, right processes? So an independent examination and evaluation of current processes, techniques, tools, and competencies. So somebody need to evaluate, do we have all the required tools, techniques, and competencies to deliver the work? Your current processes may be working, but may not be very effective. Maybe you have to, okay, let's look into that. Can we refine them? So that's part of the portfolio management maturity assessment. And the fourth thing we're talking here, portfolio process and capability deployment. So we're talking processes and capability deployment. So we're talking comprehensive portfolio management, capability deployment, and training for the organization. All right. I can see a lot of people putting chat. Okay, I think this is not related to me. But yeah, Tawfiq, if you see any question, let me know.
Yes, sure. They are sharing their LinkedIn, which is a very good thing. It's very good idea.
And it will be great if I also get connected with you guys. If you see, and I'll in the end of the presentation, I will also put my LinkedIn connection, and you feel free to connect with me. I'd love to connect with you.
Sure.
Virtually and physically if I'm there, when I'm there in Frankfurt. So what are the benefit of having portfolio management? Why do we need a portfolio management? So this will help you in establishing process for selecting appropriate programs and projects. So if you do not have a good selection process, and sometimes we select project program, realize that we should not have selected, we should not have invested in this particular project. So we need to have, part of the portfolio management, the right processes to select the right work. Determining whether or not requirement can be met with the existing organization capacity and resources. So time to time, your management asks, hey, can we deliver this? Can we do this? This is very exciting. But you need to be aware what capacity we have in the organization. Yeah, you can look around and look for new resources. Maybe that if you really require, let's look around. Maybe internally, externally. Prioritization entails allocation of appropriate resource to the appropriate program. So resources which we have in limited supply, and project and program, lots of demand coming from various stakeholders or sponsors. We need to marry them in a most effective way. Resources and project program. Continuous alignment with strategic goals. So you remember we're talking about vision, mission, strategies, and whatever work we're doing, the portfolio has to be aligned with portfolio strategic objective, ultimately organizational strategic objective. If particular project or program is not giving you expected value or strategic alignment is not there, then we need to think carefully, should we continue or not? Sometimes we have to continue because of the compliance. No issue, no options, but we have to continue, even though it's not adding much value. Identifying and managing interdependency in program and project. So there can be many projects and programs where you have interdependencies. So when you establish a roadmap, you need to know whether we should do these three, four projects together. And if there's interdependence, yes, you have to do them some kind of maybe together, maybe parallel, sequentially, whatever. So that's what you need to evaluate as part of your portfolio management role. Determine the actual level of overall project or program risk. And I'm sure you people are aware of risk in project, program, and portfolio, and we need to know. And risk is something unknown, which can happen in future. If this happens in future, are we ready to deal with that? So we look for, and now we're talking portfolio level risk as a strategic risk. Understand them and pay attention to the required risk. Some risk may be good to know about them. You put them onto your list of the risk, but maybe some risk which we need to put attention now. So look into that. Monitoring progress with key outcomes. So yeah, progress versus outcome. Are we getting the outcome what we plan to achieve? Management of successful program and project delivery. Yes, that is one of the things you have to do. Whatever work is done under your portfolio, you have to ensure that the work is done in a most effective way, the right resources working on it, and you deliver them successfully. Of course, you can say this is the project manager's responsibility, program manager's responsibility, but you need to create an environment where they can deliver the work. If they don't get the required resources, required technology, then how can they do? This is something you as a portfolio manager have to organize. Maximizing investment and return. Yes, you have limited funds, they are funding given by the organization, maybe outside the organization. You need to utilize them in the most effective way. Achieving cost savings, increase efficiencies through program and project rationalization. So why are we doing this project program? So we can be doing the cost saving or increasing margins, whatever it is. We need to run the project program under the portfolio most effectively. And you're going to see this, I'm just talking again, effectively, efficiently, resource utilization. Yes, this is one of the main jobs you have. The limited resources, utilize them so you get the best or maximum value for the organization. Coordinating and managing the relation of benefit across the organization. So your project program going to give the benefits. Some benefits are impacting a larger audience, maybe the whole organization getting benefit. So need to, as a portfolio management team, you need to coordinate with them so that they get the benefit can be provided, or benefit can be achieved by all the beneficiaries. I hope it makes sense. Here we're talking about why we should have portfolio management first. What are the benefits of having a mature portfolio management? Any question?
Actually, we don't have anything for the moment.
That's fine. I mean, I like to have some interaction, but sometimes start feeling bored if I'm keep talking. But anyway, this is a different type of.
I would like to ask a question. What scope do you propose for the portfolio management? A whole group of companies, a company complete, a department? What's the recommended size or scope?
Yeah, actually, portfolio management can be aligned with a different level of organization. You can have a portfolio at the organizational level. You can have portfolio at the department level, function level, or a group of projects together as a portfolio. It can be anywhere. PMI is not defining that we should have this kind of structure. They're telling what to do, what should happen. But whether it's aligned with the organization, whether it's aligned with the department, whether it's aligned with a particular group, that's entirely up to you. Size, complexity, sometimes you have hundreds of projects, sometimes you have only 3 projects. That's still acceptable. Make sense?
Is it good, Martin? Was that your question?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
Program management. We talked about portfolio management, program management, because we're talking about how can you move yourself from the project management to program and portfolio management. Anyway, so program management is what we do as part of the program. We are managing interdependent projects in a coordinated way to achieve the benefit which were not available when you're managing them individually. This is very simple definition coming from standard for program management, 4th edition. As if you are a PGMP or you're working for PGMP, you know what I'm talking about. So it's all about managing those moving parts, interdependent projects in a most efficient way to deliver the benefit which were not available when you're managing them as a discrete projects. So program delivers their intended benefits primarily through component projects. So with the project we are doing, they will give us some output and outcome that will help us to deliver the benefit. The component of the programs are related through their pursuit of complementary goals. So because they have common goals, that's why we put them together. Okay. So when we talk about program management, we're talking about managing interdependencies and delivering the benefits for the organization. So within program management, there are various things you will see. We look at the characteristic of a program management. Like as part of the program, you are identifying which component to start, initiating them, accelerating them, decelerating if required. We have to slow down, redefining the priorities, and terminating the project within the program. So one of the important role is to see all the components and see which component should get what priority based on the benefit. Of course, your priority of the component. When you say component, actually project or subprogram, priority of the component based on the benefits. If you have 10 benefits, okay, number 1 benefit is the highest priority. Let's do all the project program aligned to that benefit. Managing interdependency. So that's the program is all about interdependency management. So managing interdependency between projects and change management activity between the projects. Obtaining projects output. Managing change within the business context as usual so that we can deliver outcome. So 3 terms we have, or rather 4 terms. One is output, outcome, benefit, value. Now, project will give you, individual project will give you an output. For example, if you're implementing a new PMI system, one of the projects is going to implement that system. So that's the output from that project. Now, what is the outcome? When we start using this new PMI system to build new reports, manage your project very effectively, more effectively, productivity, those reports when are generated, this is the outcome from the new PMI system. Now, what is benefit? When you use these reports to manage your project program more effectively, so your productivity, you gain the productivity. You're keeping your various senior executive informed and give them visibility of the real-time system. So that's your benefit. So they can see which project program to continue or stop, because they have more clarity now. And what is value? Value is the net benefit. What that means is to achieve that particular objective, to achieve the benefit, we need to invest. The difference between benefit generated versus what was the investment, that is value. For example, if we to generate $5 million, we have to invest $1 million. So net benefit is $4 million. So net benefit is actually your value. Actually, I'm moving myself into the PGNP teaching mode. Sorry, I want to make sure that you have clarity on these various terms I'm going to use again and again. But yeah, this is what you need to see: output, outcome, benefit, and value delivered for the organization. Now, establish project and delivery management standards without micromanaging execution. So you need to have a environment. You create an environment such so that the project program can be delivered without doing so much micromanagement. People don't like micromanagement. They give them, empower them to deliver the work. And you create an environment where they have the required funding, required resources, obtain buy-in and support at all organization level. So whatever work you're doing, you need to get support from your management, support from your team members, support from the beneficiaries. Achieve a balanced level of program management maturity improvement. If you do not have required standard, required processes, look for how can I improve the maturity of my program management. Use an appropriate project program management tools. So there are lots of tools available in the market nowadays, and new tools are coming up. You need to see which tool will help me to deliver my work more effectively. If you want to know my recommendation, I will definitely tell you. If we can talk about that. And actually, I am involved in development of one such tool, which is going to bring the whole organization in one place. Real-time information, PPM, very, very powerful. I can talk about that for hours, but I leave it for next time. Challenges: aligning business demand with resource capacity to plan for and commit to delivery the targeted effectively. So the business demand is coming all the time, changing demand. The problem is you have limited resources, limited people, limited money. You need to align them in such a way you get the maximum, allow to fulfill the most of the demand with the limited resources we have. And I'm not saying you overburden your team, you ask them to work over the weekend. No, that's not a right strategy. You need to find the balance and allocate the right resource to the right work. Very, very important. If you want to get some plumbing work, if you put an electrician is working very hard to do the plumbing job, but he's not the right person to do the job. You need to find the right person who can actually do the right job. That's why we're talking about resource being aware of your resources, their capability, their capacity, their holiday plan, all kind of things. And unfortunately, if you're using some Excel-based tools, you just, you get limited information. But if you have a good tool that can also help you to see, you have visibility of all the resources and manage them more effectively. Choosing the appropriate delivery model. and choosing the appropriate delivery model for the scope of work that must be completed. The right model we have to pick, whether waterfall methodology can work, or maybe agile methodology can be better for this kind of situation. We need to find out. Obtaining early indicators, early warning indicator to project impact and risk, and effectively resolving them. So as a part of the program management, you have one other important role to act as a risk manager as well. You need to see what can go wrong, where can we go wrong, what are the environmental factors which we should be aware of, and take action in advance. If you know the root cause of the problem, try to eliminate the root cause. All right. So this is the PGMP in a nutshell. Not really. PGMP is bigger, very big topic. Anyway, so the next topic is about PPM, Project Portfolio Management. So PPM is centralized management of organization projects. So you have several projects, you want to manage them in a centralized way. While these projects may or may not be related, because as part of the portfolio, the project may be related, may not be related, and they are managed under one umbrella, such as portfolio, to oversee and manage any competing resources. Portfolio management in project management also involve intakes of processes of project. We need to know what process to use as part of the project management. These include identifying the potential projects, authorizing them, assigning the project managers, and including all the including them in overall portfolio. It also includes high-level control, monitoring to ensure ongoing projects are directly related to the business. So whatever work we're doing, the project we're doing, has to be aligned with the goals and objectives or strategies of the organization. So why PPM is important? Why do we need PPM? So as you know from PMI, as per PMI, project portfolio management is a way to bridge the gap between strategy, organization strategy, and implementation. So you have project managers doing the work. Yeah, and organization has strategy. So portfolio manager going to bridge them, is a bridge between them. How to deliver the strategy by getting the right project manager allocated there. So portfolio manager's job is to ensure the right projects are being done at the right time to maximize the company investment. Yes, right project, right time, right resources working so that we get the maximum ROI, return on investment. So this is particularly important in an organization with lots of internal projects. How to manage my internal project or external project. So that's why the PPM is important, helping organization deliver complex changes. So PPM, PPM expands its wings due to extensive digitalization. Nowadays, we're talking digitalization everywhere, digital transformation, digitalization, and that's where new tools are very useful. So it's the role of making the business sustainable and agile is paramount. So part of the PPM, we look for ways, how can we make our business sustainable and more agile? So PPM can give you a holistic view of organization to drive it to success. And it's effective project and portfolio management. So yeah, so PPM will give you holistic view so we can drive the organization to success by doing the projects and the program and portfolio management very effectively, improving the productivity. All right. So many organizations, project program management may be at various stages, so it depends on the organization's maturity. And I'm talking to so many people from different parts of the world. I see somebody coming from Saudi Arabia, from Chile, from Germany, from Australia. The organizations are doing great. They have, but their level of maturity is different. Some organizations are very mature, some organizations are early stage. And I'm talking to one company, they are supporting NASA with all the new technology to launch a satellite. But they grow so fast in 2 years' time, from 20 people to 800 people. So they are making huge money, but they don't have any maturity in the project program management. So what I'm talking about, the organization can be a reference region. Sometimes PMO process and organization are started, but they fail. You start, okay, let's start with some processes, but you didn't got success. Sometimes improvements are required to become more effective across broader domain. So not only improvement one part, but overall organization or broader organization. So key aspect of enhancing PPM capabilities for effective PMO. So there are a few things I mentioned here, such as you need to have a good PMO strategy, well-defined roadmap, implementation plan, optimization of resources. Then we look at organizational governance. Everybody knows the roles and responsibilities, and we have various structure, supports, the various project programs, process design, organization change management. We are bringing change to the organization. So let's say we have new PPM tool, and people are earlier using an Excel-based system. Now you are expecting them to use the new PPM tool, the new PMIs tool. It will not happen like that. Give them training and they're ready, because so they have been using the Excel-based system for a long time. You need to change their mindset. So that's why we need to have effective organization change management. Demand management. Demand is coming, project program from various sponsors and various departments. At the same time, we need to see the capacity management. How many people do we have? What capacity we have available? Now or in next 2 weeks or 2 months time, we need to have visibility of that. Process integration. We need to make sure the project managers, we have training for project management, project management training. You have a program for skill development, knowledge transfer. Once the project finished, make sure that knowledge transfer happen to the other project managers, program managers, and knowledge is saved into the repository for future project programs. So knowledge management can be a key for a process improvement or organization improvement. Because if you've done something and we didn't have a good success, we don't want to repeat the same thing. Or if we did something and it worked really well, then we want to repeat it. Not only this program, but other projects as well, other programs as well. Design of programs, portfolio dashboard. Having good portfolio dashboard can be enabler for you. Right portfolio dashboard, real-time portfolio dashboard. And I'm talking again about real-time information. Actually, there are systems available which can give you real-time information. And information on your fingertips, on your mobile phone nowadays, very, very powerful. And as I said, I can help you with that if you require. So as PPM leader, you must strive to add value to your stakeholders. Management is tasked with steering their operation through word of, there are many constraints around us, like environmental constraints, we have social constraints, economic constraints, while seeking new opportunities to create value. So we need to look around all the constraints, and we still have to navigate through them and add value to the organization, add value to the stakeholders. So one of the roles we have, important role we play as a project program portfolio manager, guiding the business to more sustainable future. Now, the term sustainable, many people have, I don't know, everybody says it's a good buzzword to talk about. But as per author Christina, she states sustainability is a mega trend impacting the way in which successful business currently is. So if you are successful business, so you're managing, doing things, and you want it to continue same way or better way in future. So whatever you achieve, let's say you maturity achieve, then you want to sustain that. If your organization, we have seen some good names gone into history, like I don't want to name them, but that's what we have seen. BlackBerry and Nokia and a few other names. They were not able to sustain their the brand, or the way they were doing, they were adding a lot of value, but suddenly some other company came and they overtook them. So as a business, as a project program portfolio manager, you're assisting the organization to sustain, or you can sustain the organizations for a long time. So the key gap in the business is ability to transform the strategy and vision into implementation. So you have vision, strategies, how it's going to be fit, we need to find out, okay, this is what we are to achieve. And what do we have? We need to understand the gaps. So PPM can act as a bridge to fill those gaps. Business needs to critically understand the factors such as client satisfaction. You need to understand client satisfaction part. You probably have some kind of promoter score to see how the clients are satisfied, not satisfied. We need to look at the value delivery. How are we delivering the value? Not only just thinking in terms of delivery or a project program, we need to see how much value we have added to the business, to the client. Expanding the product, service, geographical footprints. Yeah, great. If it's doing good in my country, my organization, my city, but can I go around? My product can be seen, can be used in China, maybe to India, or maybe other part of the world. How can we expand our footprint? Providing clarity of goals to downstream from the top management. Very, very important. The organization leaders, they have vision, mission, strategies, all kinds of things. They have goals, but these need to be clearly identified and downstream, to the portfolio manager, to the program manager, the project managers, and they are aligned with the goals, and they are motivated. Once their project, the employees or people working in the organization, they are aligned with your goals and objective, they are motivated. They want to see the organization getting growth, organization making money. Because if organization doing good, they also get benefit out of it. Innovation, new ideas. How can I do my job better? Innovative ways. Collaboration. It's all about teamwork. You cannot do everything by yourself. You need to have the right team, right people working together to get the things done. Consistent messaging to sustain the business. So these might be affected by environmental factors, social factor, economic constraints around the business ecosystem. Yeah, so look for, PPM can help you to identify those gaps and fill up those gaps. Any questions so far?
Nothing yet. All is good.
All right. Things that I don't see the faces, only face I can see is you. When I see a smile on your face, I think that things are going all right. So you're representing other people.
It's an interesting topic.
It is a very interesting topic.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So moving on. So sustainability begins with the principle. So there are 10 principles which are identified by UN Global Compact, and they are categorized into 4 categories. Human rights. So we need to, as a business should support and respect the protection of internationally proclaimed human rights. Okay, and make sure they are not complicit in human rights abuses. Yeah, you need to make sure that you are not away from the human rights abuses. Now, labor point of view, businesses should uphold the freedom of association and effective recognition of right of collective bargaining, the unions and other things. Elimination of all forms of forced and compulsory labor. Yeah, in some countries, some places, labor, child labor, the next one is also effective abolition of child labor. You can get cheaper work. You may think, okay, let me get my work done in China. so I can have more margin. Yeah, I mean, you can make money, but at the same time, back in other country, the child abuse is happening. The people are working late hours, many hours, and so on. So you need to be careful about that. Elimination of discrimination in respect of employment and occupation. Now, under environment, we have responsibility to an environment as well. So business should support the precautionary approach to environmental change. We are hearing this and climate change, this change, that change. So is it our influence as a human being? Yes, a lot of change happened in last century, industry revolution. Maybe that has influenced the environmental change. So as a business, we need to see, am I adding something to negatively to the business? So for example, you may be starting a new chemical factory. Great chemical, very useful, margin was great, but that may be producing byproducts which can go in impact your air, maybe water, maybe the soil. You may not realize the impact now, but in down the track, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years time, you may find there's a negative impact. So have you done enough study so that there's a negative impact should be avoided or minimized? Or maybe the factory should be placed in different part of the world, not in the middle of the city. Undertake initiative to promote greater environmental responsibility. You need to take your own responsibility as a company and ensure that delivery and enforce the development and diffuse of environmentally friendly technologies. So look for environmentally friendly technology. Nowadays, we're talking about green energy, electric. A lot of people are talking about, actually not talking about, people owning electrical car, hydrogen car. So, maybe your organization can, instead of using the coal, using some hydrogen as maybe the fuel. Anyway, so that's up to your organization, how to use it. Number 10, we're talking about anti-corruption. Businesses should work against corruption in all its forms, including extortion and bribery. Some places is okay, no, we don't have anything like that in our organization. In our country, many countries are very clean. But if you go to some other country, the businesses are trying to benefit by manipulating the system, by giving some money or something. Anyway, so that's something we should be very clear to your organization, that let's avoid ourselves, let's keep ourselves from any type of corruptions or any allegations which can impact our name, brand name now and future. Anyway, so I start talking about sustainability and those principles, not just project program, but you need to think from a business point of view. So there are mega trends outlining by different agencies, which might be critical for a business to understand the proactively enact. Adopting a sustainable strategy involves aligning the organizational value, mission, priorities with sustainable business strategies. So vision, mission, and the objectives are aligned with the organization values. So we need to see the component within a portfolio are aligned with your organizational values, vision, mission, and objectives. Objective may be crisscross across the components and yet get aligned well. Understanding the alignment to the right mix of portfolio component is vital. So you can see here, current challenges and opportunities. You look into current challenges and what are the opportunities, internal strength and capabilities. So do we have enough people, enough capability, component portfolio inventory, number of projects, portfolio inventory, number of projects we are doing at the moment. External stakeholder demands, resources and competencies, portfolio strategic realignment, sustainable strategy and goals. Okay. So teams and people involved in PPM can help prioritize the organization initiative aligned with business. So you have the people in the PPM, they can look at what is the business requirement or strategy or direction, and pick the right projects. Consistent verification of capability. You need to know how many people do we have, what is the capability, what is the capacity they have. Monitoring the progress of the projects. Reporting need to be done to keep things on track. Yes, as part of the PPM, you need to make sure the right people are working, right work is done, and reporting is done to the right people. The team evaluation can be based on component like project benefit, how much benefit they are generating, sustainability targets, and expertise and competencies, return on investment, net present value, and business goals. All right. So organizations with leaders having good maturity on good PPM would have great advantage to the business sustainability initiative. So having right people, like good people in the right role, and good tools that will help the organization to have, will be advantage for business sustainability initiatives. The PMO would start incorporating metrics related to sustainability, related aspect, and their reporting. And for example, it can be diversity and inclusion, climatic impact. You may have some measurements around code of conduct, packaging design, compliance, regulation risk. So you probably have a checklist, PMO have a checklist. Are we aligned with this? Are we this? We keep taking care or not? So as part of the checklist, so aspects like usage of material and process which might impact human and the environment will take priority in the project environment. Environmental, social, governance initiative would mandate many decision-making aspects. So many of the initiatives you have to look for, verify whether you environmentally compliant, socially not disrupt, impacting some communities or people. So yeah. All right. So how are we going with time? Are we okay?
Yes, it's good. We're on time.
Yeah,
Everything's
yes.
good.
All right. Any questions so far? I'm not seeing the chat. I'm seeing the 8 people are writing, but maybe more likely looks like LinkedIn connection.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
We'll have enough time, I think, by the end of the presentation for questions and discussions.
Yeah. And your question can help me to breathe as well. So ask me question. I love questions. All right. Moving on. So in sports, while agility is not mere strength, having good strength is not enough. Speed, power, endurance, those qualities are also necessary enablers of the agility. Okay, so the agility is organization's capability to effectively detect, to understand, effectively detect, assess, and respond to environmental changes in ways that are purposeful, decisive, and grounded in the will to win. Business agility depends on people acting with moral predictability and responsiveness. The agility would be being nimble and responsive to dynamic change and maneuvering the risk effectively. So that's agility. Agility is being nimble, small, you don't have to have the bigger project, but being nimble and responsive to dynamically changes and responsibly addressing the risk. So business should be comfortable being adapted. Business should be comfortable adapting to the market change. The changes are everywhere. If change happens, you should be able to, move around and make yourself adjust. So business change, market changes, regulations, from time to time you have new regulations, internal, external policies. And concerning the Agile Manifesto, if you know, if you are into Agile, you know what Agile Manifesto is all about. It's talking which many people consider specific to software organization. It's not only software organization. Yes, you apply them into software, but agility you can have in any industry. So in the end, the teams and people are what drive the value in the process of the business. The need for the agility in the business stems from the uncertainty and the complexity of the ecosystem in which they operate. The traditional projects and the portfolio management approach might be inadequate, considering the speed and agility brought due to digitalization. You need to assess, do we have enough capacity? The speed is okay, we are doing all right. We may have to bring better resources. So analyze the impact due to digitalization, uncertainty and complexity of business ecosystem, and team to be part of Agile Manifesto. All right. Importance of portfolio management. We have been talking portfolio management programming, but let me talk about importance of portfolio management. Portfolio management would help align the project and the programs and group them on the common interests. So when you talk about portfolio, we're talking about the project and program are addressing particular strategic needs or strategic objectives. So we group them in such a way. Share the stakeholders with consistent and simple quality metrics. Project invariably aligned towards the business future needs. Portfolio management will be critical in the resource management, financial management, and governance, which will further drive the project and programs. So agility is driven from the top to bottom. The focus should be to realize the value faster, minimizing the risk, and get the feedback early and incorporate it continuously. We're talking about value, deliver the value faster, minimizing the risk, get the feedback early. If you get the feedback from your customer, and incorporate them into your new the product being developed. So the degree of risk involved in establishing business agility would help change the course in the right way. Organization can achieve scale by managing the value stream. The organization can achieve the scale by managing the value streams with better decision making at the project, program, and portfolio level. So the decision making at the project, program, portfolio level can happen when you have right tools, right people doing the job with right mindset. So a PPM should be aligned with, of course, demand management. So good PPM. Yes,
sorry
please.
to interrupt, Mr. Singh.
Yes, please go ahead.
If you can go to the previous slide. Can you elaborate the term value streams in the statement in blue?
Yeah, so we as part of the program, as part of the organization, we have a lot of value we're delivering for the customer. So to deliver a particular value, we have various steps to take. So it's a value stream going on. So for example, if you want to deliver a product outside for the customer, it goes to the warehouse, building it, and then goes to the after building, this goes to the supplier, and then so that's the kind of value stream. So what we're saying, managing the value stream with better decision making. So if you find some gaps, or taking more time, let's say for example, sitting the product into the warehouse, can we minimize the time so that we can have better efficiency? Is it making sense?
Yeah, can you put the value stream concept in an example of a process, not of a product?
In terms of process, I probably need some help here. And if somebody else like to jump in, Thomas, would you like to jump in here? If you have any idea on this, or maybe I can take it later.
This is Ravinder.
Yes, please go ahead.
When you say value stream mapping, is it like you're removing the unnecessary procedures and processes to
Yeah.
make your policy very clear? Is that what you're asking for?
That question is not for me, right? It's for.
Yeah, actually, I have done value stream mapping. It basically what we do is, if you have an existing process, you review the entire process end to end to see what all tasks are primary and important tasks, and focus on only those tasks and remove the secondary and not required tasks. In this way, you save time, you save money, and you deliver quickly. So that's what we call value stream mapping.
Okay. And is the Mr. Singh is referring to the same concept?
Yeah.
Is that
so
right?
what we exactly so and what we try to do, we look at using the right project program and portfolio management. We make the right decision in improving the processes, improving the value stream in that way.
And maybe add let me add one thing. So the concept of value streams is very well documented in Wikipedia. If you look that up and look at this, and it's not the same as process optimization, you know, but it's much related to the lean concept of avoiding waste during production of something, you know, and in the end, you have a flow of processes that create value, or some may even destroy value if you think about just some documentation steps or whatever, which not add to the value of the product you are in the end delivering. Value stream mapping is always used in the context of having customers. You know, the customer has a request and wants to have something, a product, a result, or whatever, and the question is which of the steps you take. And it might not only be process steps; it could also steps where you put something to a contractor or to a third party and get some additional value from that third party. It is part of the full process, but it's not all in your responsibility, you know. And that's the difference to the process view. The value stream view is a different view, looking at the value for the customer.
All right, good discussion. Thank you. This gives me some
Thank
breathing
you.
time as well. Thank you. And sorry, your name is?
Nancy.
Nancy. Thank you, Nancy. Good. Thanks, Ravinder, and thanks, Thomas.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. So as I was talking, PPM should be aligned with the various streams we have in the organization, like the demand management. We have projects are coming from everywhere, so we need to see how many projects we have. So requests coming from your HR, requests coming from your marketing department. So that's where we have portfolio management, program management, project management. So you should have a system which can help you to bring the whole organization in one place. And there are nowadays, as I mentioned, there's a PPM tool available which can help you to align the whole organization in one place. Demand, resource management happening there, your risk management happening there, your project program, portfolio management, all happening in one place. Even sales is happening in one place. So that avoids a lot of duplication and silos. So look for such tools, and I will be happy to talk about that if required. Anyway. So in future, project and program and the portfolio manager should be more context driven and responsive, as many organizations continue to fail in the digital initiatives. So failure could be maybe because you have unrealistic expectation. I've probably seen that, hey, can you deliver everything by yesterday? So expectation has to be rightly set. And I've seen this happening. Hey, we are in November, but can we have 2 data centers up and running, first in March and second one is in June and fully connected? I mean, in the end, I was able to do it, but the kind of unrealistic expectation. Leadership related issues, that sometimes, leadership, there are a lot of politics going on. Too large change too soon. You want to bring the whole organization digital transformation in next 6 months, agile transformation next 3 months. Can we do it? Maybe, but it's bringing a lot of, chances of failure will be much higher. And fatigue, and you know that. If you have a team which is working late night and over weekends and day in out, the chances of making errors are more, So that's where we need to look into. So the following are some of the key responsibilities and roles they might be needed to take into consideration in the near future. And there are a lot of things you can, I will ask you to read as well, but I will try to pick few of them. So one of the key role of the PPM member would manage is the people and the tribe they belong to for sustenance and reallocation of resource within project and programs. So reallocation and so the managing the resources effectively. Understand the program's complexity and align the risk budget to manage the contingencies to be more responsive as project maneuver unknowns. So we have lots of unknowns as a risk, and we have contingency. We manage them very effectively, more effectively. Fostering learning of portfolio and program principle to arrive at consensus on the goals among the project members. Identifying the leading indicators of the portfolio program and track reports, report them to effectively so that organization can be more predictive of the future event and be prepared to respond appropriately. Portfolio manager need to manage resource conflict early, categorize them, and provide consolidated view to meet the timelines. Establishing automated mechanism as much as you can. Establish automated mechanism to receive feedback from the stakeholders upon various contexts for managing timelines, cost, and performance. So you should have some kind of feedback mechanism from the stakeholder. Are they happy? They are getting the value or not? So that should be there. Manage the change, communicate the change impact early. So we need to know what change we are bringing and how it's going to impact, how this change will impact as soon as possible, if you know, and bring on the process and cultural change before the change is enforced. Manage the portfolio on scope management, control, cost control, quality resources, and risk. Apart from these, portfolio managers should look into the external contractual obligations, compliance and regulations, and manage the resource from the third party in terms of timelines, cost, and quality. Yep, we're talking about many of the roles and responsibility you should have as a PPM or project manager, portfolio manager. So in the book written by Michael Hughes, called Business Agility, Sustainable Prosperity in Relentlessly Competitive Environment. So he's saying and there are a few things he mentioned, such as winning without fighting. You like to win, you don't have to have a war all the time. We can manage the things and can get the results more effectively. Why we need a war? Why Russia and Ukraine has to fight? By the way, if somebody is listening from that part, they will kill me. We don't need war. Avoid strength, attack weaknesses. Know truth, sow deceptions. Organize for speed, build momentum, and shape your opponent. Choose your battle. So these principles share these all stand relevant today as well, with the emphasis on responsiveness and agility. So bringing these kind of principles to practice require adaptive mindset. Okay. So how adaptive mindset works? We're talking about adaptive mindset, but how it's going to work? So an adaptive mindset works well on changes and embraces them as opportunities rather than challenges. So you should see them as opportunity, not always as challenges. Yes, there is a difficult time, but that can be converted as an opportunity as well. Manage uncertainty and volatility. Project leaders with adaptive mindset are better positioned to manage uncertainty and volatility because they have built flexibility into their plans and teams, allowing them to shift as needed. Mindset influences the behavior. As the mind influences the behavior, an adaptive mindset would start responding to embrace ambiguity, uncertainty, and risk appropriately. Over the time, the adaptive mindset will help formalize the experience and transfer the same into the next in line. People creating a better responsible leaders, reflecting the capabilities of fostering the innovation and free time for exploration and making them more resilient to change. Organization members undergo training on the PPM. So you should have some kind of program which help them to go through some training programs. So providing sufficient awareness to the stakeholder on impact of the change would keep organization informed. So the steering members must have portfolio management mindset. So your steering committee member, yes, they are coming from the business or they're representing businesses, but they should have portfolio management mindset that will provide needed strategic focus. Help in prioritizing the project which are time consuming. Educating the leaders, peers on the practices of portfolio management and understanding of the portfolio management benefits. Right. So bringing agility first. Instead of approaching the decision based on cost, focus on what value we're going to generate. So when organization members undergo training on PPM, they would have a change mindset. And they're bringing agility first, instead of approaching the decision based on cost. Yes, cost is important, but we need to see what value we are adding. Is it really important? Many times we stuck with the cost. Hey, this is too costly. Let's not worry about it. And I see that when people talking to me, Dharam, I want to do a program, but I see it's more costly for me. But yes, cost is important. We have to talk about that. But what value I'm going to add to your learning, so you get the certificate in the shortest time. So, for example, instead of asking what is going to cost, we should ask what value we're going to generate. So apart from this, it would impact the aspect of progression to minimize the cost of the delay. Activities such as rolling wave annual planning will shrink the shorter timelines. So instead of planning for the 5 years, let's look at the shorter timelines. Okay, 6 months. Let's plan for that. Less than another 6 months. Understanding the dynamics of change and how it impacts people on individual and collective level of project program management. Yet another way to manage and control the success of the project programs. So providing sufficient awareness to the stakeholder on the impact of the change would keep the organization informed. All right. So analyzing organization objectives and strategic intent. So take inventory of all the project and program into portfolio plan. So when we talk about portfolio, we look at what are the projects in progress at the moment, potential projects or programs. We need to think of from that point of view. Establish the big picture. We need to start with big picture with clarity of purpose and based on strategic objective on each item. So clarity of purpose based on strategic objective, which objective is which strategic objective we align to. Now, inventory can be prioritized based on cost, risk, performance, and which could have a better return on investment. So when you as a portfolio manager, you look at various components, you look at from the various angles. You analyze from cost point of view, risk point of view, performance point of view, how much value we're going to add, how closely it is aligned with the organization strategy. Make sure the team and stakeholder understand the organization strategic objective and portfolio objective as well. continuously assess and balance the priorities based on risk, reward, resources, and relationship. So this is ongoing for you. Keep an eye. Are we balancing the priorities? We look at how much risk we are taking, how much reward we're going to gain, what resources we need, relationship. Interact with various department and government agencies on validating them. So there may be some compliance requirements. So understand if there is compliance requirement, are we compliant or not? So maybe you have to look at the various government agencies, their expectation. Okay. So adaptive leaders, what skill set we're talking here? Adaptive leaders skill set include deep capabilities in areas such as driving and influencing the change. And we're talking about leading without authority. Yes, if you are a CEO of the company, if you're the portfolio manager, the project manager, yeah. But sometimes when we bring the change, it's not the designation matter. It's about you taking the lead because you are the right person to lead the change. And having an effective team, very, very important. Building your effective team, right people in the team with the clarity of roles and responsibilities, with a clear mindset where we are heading to. They are motivated, they're excited. Managing critical relationships. So as part of your leadership, you have to manage various relationships. And you need to find out who are these key stakeholders and what they're expecting from you, when they're expecting from you. So as part of your learning PG and PPF, we do talk about stakeholder identification, analyzing them, engaging with them. And yes, you may end up having hundreds of stakeholders, but can you pay attention to all the stakeholders same time, same way? Probably not. So that's why we need to prioritize which stakeholder is more critical and how much time and what can we do to build our relationship with them.
Mr. Singh, Nancy here again.
Yes, please.
For the first point, driving and influencing change, I want to understand more on this because this has been like the biggest roadblock, I think, for the PMOs, specifically because you don't manage those people who are actually working on those projects.
Yeah. So we're talking about the change, as we see lots of change happening within organization. Let's say you want to have digital transformation or agile transformation or something else within organization or maybe outside organization. So as a leader, adaptive leader, in the project manager, program manager, portfolio manager, you are the one who's driving these. You need to make sure there's a clarity, everybody understand what is the change we are bringing and how it's going to impact them. And you need the right people to drive the change. That's why the organizational change management come in picture, the team which knows how it's going to impact, influence, and who need to know what information. So, that's where the change management, organizational change management help, because it's not easy for bringing the change to the organization, especially a mature organization. They think we know everything. I'm doing this project. I'm doing this way for a long time, 20 years. I'm right. But now you see, hey, no. This is Excel based is okay. But now we are moving towards a automated real-time information, real-time system. You need to input the required information at right time. Will they be motivated to do that? Sometimes not. That's why we need to show them the importance of this change, importance of this information, why the information from you in this system at real time will help us to make decisions faster and better. That makes sense?
Yeah.
You need to show them you need to connect the dots and show them this is why we should be changing. If we don't change, we will be left behind.
So in summary, you mean we have to show them the purpose?
Purpose, exactly, purpose. Because if I don't see the purpose, then why should I waste my time? Because I'm doing good, why should I take extra step?
Yeah.
Usually change will return on benefit for everyone. We can mention the benefits, highlight that.
To be very frank, like many people see the change, you're doing this program, they may say, hey, there's an impact on my role. I might lose my role. Yeah, other day I was talking to a lady. She was saying, we have a system, like it's a retirement related company, they're retiring people, and they have a system which give them the retirement benefits. But the system calculates, and they have two people analyzing and double checking it. So what she's saying, if you bring the automate the system, then these two people are not required. So they will be scared. Hey, my role is gone. I don't want this change to happen. So you need to, find the right balance and show them, hey, it doesn't matter. You're not going to do this job because this will be automated, but we will give you something else. Or that's where your change management skills come in picture. So HR will help you.
But that is the hard truth, right? The automobile sector, conventional fuels are losing their jobs. They just cannot upskill, reskill themselves within few years.
Yeah. And that's why we need to be upfront. We need to know what is changing, what is coming. As an organization, keep an eye on that. If let's say, for example, you may be PMP and staying PMP is enough, may not be. Okay, look for other skills. We talk about PGMP, PFMP, or PMO related. Some of the skills can be useful for you. So keeping an eye what is coming, whether AWS or some cybersecurity related. So you need to keep an eye on this. And again, you need to show the purpose and why we should be changing. Why, if we don't change, we're going to sink. We have seen these big examples here, Nokia and Motorola and these very lot of names are there. So sometimes we need to show a bigger picture, not just a smaller piece. My work, my way, my job versus how it's going to impact the overall organization. Okay.
Yeah.
Good question.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So turning ambition into action, but we need to have a future roadmap. So when projects and program managers start the initiatives, it starts from top. We talk about the basis are the organizational objective. We talk about this is the organizational objective, these are vision, these are strategy goals. The vision would drive the principles. Objective would drive drill down to specific project objectives. Subsequently, project or program and portfolio manager are responsible for making that shared goal into the stakeholders involved in the project. They need to make them possible. So convert the goals and the target smart objective is specific, measurable, achievable, attainable, realistic, with more focused approach to track them as milestones. Approach the milestones with the context of how value get delivered to the organization rather than mere ceremonies. We need to look at how we are adding value to the organization. We do talk about demos, this ceremony, that ceremony, but no. Are we adding value to the organization? Are we adding value to the customer? So prioritization framework, some of them you're probably familiar with, like a Kano model. It talks about, which product is more important, just important. So we look at research, analyze, and decide, help you, Kano model. RISE model is talking about reach. What is our reach? What is the impact of this? And how much confidence we have on delivering this product or service, and how much effort is required. So the outcome of this initiative are consolidated at the top level, but there are interdependent projects tightly coupled with different paradigms in terms of execution, and reporting the projects and program performing well as a scorecard will create internal motivation and visibility to the relevant stakeholders. So we need to have a, some kind of a scorecard and balancing it. That's why we have a term called balance scorecard, where you can see the profitability versus the internal resource, how much benefit they're getting, the financial aspect, the processes. Balance scorecard talks about various things, and that drives the KPIs. Okay, value versus effort metrics. So how much value we're adding. Ask how does this contribute to our goals and effort. With this metrics, we clarify how difficult it is to deliver the task. Yes, we have to deliver, but how much effort required? Do we have the right resources with us, right people with us, right technology with us? So one of the things, I'm very much a big fan of certifications. As you know, I have contributed to success of more than 12% of PGMPs and 9% of PFMP. So I love this topic. So certifications are a valuable commodity. So professionals in all aspects of project program and portfolio management are high demand worldwide. Nowadays, more and more people recognizing these areas of project management, program and portfolio management. So a globally recognized certification demonstrates employer that certificate holder have the knowledge. So as a PMP, as a PGMP or PFMP, you come with the knowledge because you've gone through some standard way of learning. You have experience and education to effectively contribute the project success. People getting into the PPM career would greatly benefited from reflecting the relevance among their peers in the PMO forum. Also, it gives credibility as a certified PGMP PFMP. It gives you credibility and reflecting their domain and professional expertise. It can help you to convey your input authentically. So when you go to the meetings or steering committee, people see you. Hi, the way you express yourself, the body language you have, the terms you're going to use will help you to build more credibility with your stakeholders. So a globally recognized certification demonstrates employer, a certification holder has the knowledge and experience and education. So that actually, true for the PMI certification. There are many certificates. Let's say Prince 2 and MSP, you can do it without even having experience, just to attend a class. But PMI expect you to have some years of experience as a project manager. Some years, like I said, in a PGMP, you have to have at least 8 years of experience as 4 years of project manager, 4 years of program manager. So that having PGMP, PFMP, PMP, when employer look at you, they know that you've worked, you have some experience as a project manager, program manager, portfolio manager. So both PGMP, PFM from PMI could help you to achieve the possible elevation within your organization and get through the golden ticket to join the targeted organization. And before this session, I actually had a meeting with another guy. He said, Dharam, I did my PMP, I did my PGMP, and I didn't see the value. So look, value will not come to you just like that, because having certificate is kind of filter for you, but this is starting point. You need to, people have to see you. You have to have knowledge. You need to demonstrate the knowledge. So this certificate make you a master, expert in the art. One is you just study for the sake of learning, for the sake of having certificate, or you want to become expert in that area. So that is the one criteria you have to think. Okay, by doing this certificate, I will have some extra knowledge and this understanding of this. The better way of doing things. On the bird eye view, you can I know I use the term, but bird eye view gives you a bigger picture. You need to see a bigger picture, and you can see the right work. You as a PFMP, you can easily eliminate the unwanted work. Whether I'm doing the right work or not, is it strategically aligned? Is it going to give us ROI, return on investment? Yes, you get a better chance of getting hired as a senior manager, senior project manager, program managers, because many hiring companies or recruitment companies, they use filters. Let's say PMP is more like a hygiene factor. If you are into project management, program management, portfolio management, PMP is kind of given to you. But having other certificates such as PGMP, PFMP will give you bring differentiator for you. Okay, and when the hiring manager see, okay, I'm hiring a portfolio manager. Yes, everybody else is coming PMP, but this person is PFMP. You have a better chance. And if I tell you my example, I got my certificate PGMP in 2009. when PGMP was started in 2007. So that was very early days. Nobody was asking for PGMP. I was in Australia. No company was asking for PGMP. No jobs were asking. But between 2009 till 2016, when I was, after 2016, I moved into my full-time coaching and training. I changed 4 jobs. None of the job was asking for PGMP. But because in my resume, I had my name, PMP, PGMP. The first question they were asking, what is PGMP? Why should I hire you as a PGMP? And that's where the starting point. And I know the moment they ask me about the question PGMP, I know the job is for me. So again, whether it's going to work for you or not, that's a different story. But it gives you extra wings, extra, something to discuss in the meeting or in your interviews. Yeah, you're talking about eliminate career shocks. Nowadays, because of this fear of recession and many things going on, I've seen many companies that start chopping heads, the easy way to say. So of course, having this certificate, they will not eliminate you because, of course, they can eliminate anyone. But if you are very productive, experienced, and having right certificate, the chance of getting elimination or removal will be less. All right. I mean, this is my view anyway. So if you compare, if you know, PMP, this is actually growth of PMP. As of 2020, PMP was 1.12 million. In 2021, it gone up to 1.25 million. Now, it is more than 1.3 million. So, and people ask me, Dharam, PMP is very popular, and so everybody is PMP. Why should I do PGMP or PFMP? Yes, that's the reason. PGMP as of now, we have less than 5,000 or around 4,000. PFMP 1,328. This is global number I'm talking about. Globally, only this much. And if you look at Germany or in some other countries, you find 3, 4, 5, sometimes 25, 30. You probably think, why should I do when his numbers are low? Actually, that's why you should do. Because that is where you're going to get a differentiator. Yes, only few people have. I'm expert in this area, and they will see you differently. Actually, one person came to me. I was in Sydney. He took a flight all the way from Germany. He's working for a company called Here. I don't know if anybody's here from Here. He took flight from Germany, gone to Sydney, and attended my 3 days program, and he passed the exam. He was very, very happy to say, I think he was among the top 6 or 7 PGMP at the time. And he saw, he said, Dharam, I got promotion and I got this and that. Is it going to happen to you? Maybe, or may not be. It all depends on many other factors. But yes, you can see the growth, numbers are growing, but slow. But that is where you see an opportunity. Okay, you know what? I still have opportunity to be part of top 5,000 PGMP or top 1,500 PFMP. And this is my contribution, as you can see, total PGMP, as you saw, 4,000 something, and around 11% of people have gone through my program. And I think 6 or 7 people from Germany, they've gone through my program. Yes, they were not, no physical boot camp, but virtual programs they have attended. But that's where you have opportunity. If you are interested to become PGMP, PFMP, you can find a way to join my program, and you will find. I will be very happy to see you there if you come. But you can see, I'm contributing consistently. It was 72 in 2018, 49, 49, 56, and last year was good for me, really good. 74 PGMP. They've done any program with me, mentoring programs. PFMP is still low comparatively, because we're talking, if you look at the pyramid, lots of project managers, then lesser program manager, and lesser portfolio managers. So yes, the numbers also reflect the less number of PFMPs compared to PGMP. But I think the trend is going to change very soon. I'm expecting this number to go up to 50 this year, and this will probably go around 80 or 90 this year for me. Anyway, so, and you can be one of them. So certification achiever. Look, people talk about the complexity of this certificate. When you look at the number, that also tells you, you know what, something is also wrong, not wrong, but these exams are not easy. You know, Thomas is one of the early PGMP, and he can talk highly about it. He's a PMP and a PGMP. And one is the exam is not easy. PMP, yes, you can see everybody become PMP. But these questions in PGMP exam, PFMP exams are not straight from the book. You need to think outside the box and scenario-based questions. But this can be done. You need determined focus. You know, have a date, 3 months time, 2 months time, I will do my PGMP. And you have dedication, you have right people, you have right mindset, right books. And believe it or not, it will be done very, very soon. I've seen this happening. Sorry?
Sorry to disturb you. We're running out of time.
Yeah, almost done.
Yes. Thank you.
And the best way to predict the future is to create it. Don't wait how it's going to look like. We have, just finished, we started 2023, and I got so many wishes from every year. Now I said, okay, great. All wishes are important. But what I'm going to do to make my future 2023, 24, 25 even better? I should not wait for other people to make or other wishes to make my life better. I have to take my action. So take action today so that you can see back, look back, hey, I'm glad I took a decision and we got, and what I'm now is the input of 2005, 2006, when I was going through PGMP, PFMP, all the certifications. Anyway, and so that's it from my side. And you can see my contact details and other details here. And please book some time if you feel that you need to know more from me, not just PGMP, PFMP, or anything you want to discuss. Please book some time with me, and I will be happy to give you 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, with no charge to you. Any topic we can discuss. I have seen people coming to me, Dharam, I am a business analyst, how to become project manager. We don't talk about just registering to the program. I like to see you in my program, but that's the secondary. But if you see that, feel that I can add some value to you, please book some time and let's talk about it. Whether you join my program, whether you want to do personal program, physical program, anything. Anyway, so that's I think I've talked too much. But if you click any of this link when you get the PDF, you should be able to click this and you can connect with me via any of this media. All right, so this is it from me, and I think I'm on time. I didn't blow away my time. I still have a few more minutes for questions. If you have any questions.
Thank you, Dharam. We will go ahead and take some questions. Any questions? So looks like we covered.
If no one has any, then I will still take the opportunity to ask more.
Please go ahead.
Yes, sure.
You spoke in the last section about certifications. So
Yeah.
I have been working in projects for 7 years now. I do not have any certifications. Okay. Primarily being because I'm more of a practical person, and certification takes a lot of effort, as you confirmed as well.
Mm-hmm.
And now PMI is new for me, and I'm learning why I should get a certification. So what you said, I also read it on the articles, but I still have my doubts on why my 7 years of project experience is counted less than someone with a certification. Just because I don't, yeah, you see my question, where is it coming from?
I know. I'll tell you, before I answer your question, I'll tell you one situation. Actually, I was hired by this, I'm talking back in Australia. I was looking for a job and I got into a job, and it was a telecom company. And this recruiting manager actually called me, Dharam, this is my first role in this company. I want to celebrate it with you and have a coffee with you. So, and when we were having coffee, then said, Dharam, I'm very proud to see that you got into this role. It's a very exciting role. And it was challenging because there are so many applications. There are around 150 applications for this role. I said, okay, tell me, why did you pick me? Because why did, you could have easily picked somebody else. Why did you pick me for this role? So look, Dharam, there were 150 people applied for this role, very important role. And out of 150, there were around 50 people. They were either interstate or international student people. They want to get into Australia. Okay, they'll be easily eliminated. But some of the people, they are junior. They want to get into this role, so we eliminated them. But next, then we ran a some kind of scanner to see if you have PMP or not. So then we picked around 70 applications, or I think 60, 70 applications, having people having certificates such as PMP. And then he gone through, why I picked you, because you have PGMP and other certification. That's another thing. What I'm trying to tell you, you may have 7 years or 30 years experience. You will not be picked up because it's all automatic, machine picked, because the scanner is not a person. Because 150, nobody has time to go through the application. But these certificate comes with, can help you to filter into the next evaluation stage. So that's why I tell my student or people asking, yeah, one thing is you may have great experience, 7 years is good experience, but if you're going for the next role and you are competing against other PMPs, the chances are that they will pick those PMPs compared to you. If they have no other choice, less choice, then they will definitely look you at. I'm not saying you're never going to be seen. They have less chance, especially when there's a huge competition.
Thank you, Dharam.
Yeah, understood and disagreed, as said.
I mean, I know, you have particular mindset. I cannot change
Yeah.
it. But unless you go for the new role, you will not find it out as well. Try it out and see if I can get if I apply for a program manager role, project manager role, how many calls I will get.
No, I had this experience, so I'm not denying the current situation, what you are explaining. What I am denying is this, the environment which has been created, that the experience has to be certified by an institute, and if not, then you cannot prove that you have done something. That is the thought I'm denying. I'm not denying that the certificate is needed or is good, or it's, it is good. If you get it, then it's just a word which explains everything.
No, look, it's not only for the sake of certification, it's also learning the standard way of doing things. Because, certification, I see people coming with PMP, they say, Dharam, I am PMP. So, okay, how much knowledge you have? And then I ask question around experience. But if you don't have a PMP, then I will probably not talk to you and the hiring manager.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm telling you the importance of this certificate. And I don't know if you have a bachelor's degree or any engineering degree or anything. Why did you do that degree? Because you want to lift yourself out of them. Everybody is doing some kind of study, but you want it to be seen as a differentiator. So these things you can see as a differentiator.
Yeah, that's the same concept. It's the same concept. Yeah.
Good question. Thank you. Anything else?
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
I didn't want to grill you, but thank you. You took it so positively.
No, I think no. But make sure if you have further clarification, book some time with me. Happy to have a one-to-one discussion and explain why it's important. I don't want you to you should not feel that I left behind. I get people. Dharam, we talked 5 years ago, and you told me that the importance of this certificate. And because I'm coming with 20 years experience, I thought, why should I? But now I'm out of job. I need the certificate now. So that's become urgency for them.
Yeah, I have already started it. It's not an urgency, it's not a requirement, but I'm already a PMI member sitting with you, questioning the need and preparing for it.
Good stuff. So
I have a good idea for you to contribute.
Frankfurt class, actually, in my PFMP or PGMP class. That will be good thing to see.
So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you being here with us. I would like to jump fast for some other topics. So we have our upcoming events for the chapter, for Germany chapter Darmstadt group. Like we have another one for the next week. And we have another face-to-face meeting. And also we have another one for the beginning of the next month, 1st of February. I would like to take advantage from Thomas being with us to tell us more about volunteering. Thomas?
Yeah, I should tell you about volunteering. Well, I'm a volunteer since 1998, you know, when I was asked to run a chapter here in Germany. And I was reluctant. And, no, not me, but yeah, I did it. And from that, my life changed professionally as well as personally. And it's similar to the PMP, Nancy, that, you know, you go out of this effort you are taking, and then you know you have something. Volunteering for me is having a sandbox for professional development. So if you ever led a team of volunteers, you know, who can walk away if you are unfriendly to them, but you achieved something together with them, you know, then you know how to work with people who are staying on the job because they get paid for it. So I really compare it to a sandbox. It's volunteering, and you can come either to a chapter, which I would recommend for the first step, but later you can also volunteer on a global base. And the good thing, you know, with volunteering, it's mainly virtual, so you can do it here through Zoom, and but maybe once a year or twice a year you have a nice place to go and meet your colleagues on the volunteer team and do something. So I have done a lot of volunteering in my life in the past 20-something years, 25 almost, and I also only can recommend it.
Thomas, if you allow me to say my experience, when I was in Sydney, and before volunteer or after volunteer or becoming chapter member, chapter director, prior to that, I was very shy project manager and difficult to speak in front of 5 people. You know, you ask me to speak in front of my team, kind of, hey, no, please don't ask me. You know, I have to speak because of my team. But after becoming chapter director, you know, I gone into the certification director and the secretary of the chapter. That's changed me entirely. From that person, very shy person, to what I'm doing now, talking to people, professionals around the world, and contributing to them, was not available to me if I have not gone into the volunteering. So one thing, if you want to do, you know, volunteering, maybe chapter member, director, will change your life forever. I can tell you.
Yeah, and Tufik, may I comment on the last slide? If you go back, please, one slide. I want to share something, you know. And when do you have the chance to work with people from China, India, Afghanistan, Lebanon? And to be honest, Elena is we all are in Germany, except Tufik, who is sitting in Beirut, Lebanon right now, and living and working there. All we are in the region of Darmstadt. But even Elena is not originally from Germany, but from Northern Macedonia. So we have 6 people from different countries, and that's an amazing experience, how you learn different cultures and behaviors and perceptions, and you certainly can use that in the rest of your life activities.
Great.
So I will go back to the last slide. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. And thank you for your interest in the PMI Germany chapter, Darmstadt local group. It was nice having you, Dharam. It was really an interesting topic. I believe that everyone had lots of learning tonight with us. And now I will name the PDU code for our participants. So that's all for tonight. Thank you so much. Hope we will meet again in our upcoming events. And probably we should have something further with you, Dharam, for the knowledge that you have and for the learning that you provided for us.
It's my pleasure to talk to you guys, and I hope I have added some value to you. And I hope I can meet some of you when I'm in Frankfurt in May. So let's do something. If I'm in May, I'm coming to Frankfurt. Let's try to join, meet at least, if not joining my program. But thank you, Thomas. First of all, Thomas was the one who asked me, Dharam, can you come and talk? and you made it possible. And Tawfiq and all the people, Ravinder and everybody, you did hard work behind the scene. And this is this kind of events. If you can do physically, very nice. Virtually is good. Everybody can benefit from each other. So thank you, and keep doing.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
for all the information.
Thank you.
I loved the session. I think you already realized it.
I know. Thanks, Nancy.